Are you finding it harder to manage things on your own as you grow older? Living alone in your later years can be a journey of independence and self-discovery, but also comes with unique challenges that can slowly creep up if you're not careful. But what if I told you that by avoiding just a few common mistakes, you could make your life not only easier but much more fulfilling? In this video, we'll uncover the 12 biggest mistakes that older adults make when living alone. Mistakes that can impact your health, safety, and happiness. Stay with us till the end because each point is crucial for living a secure, peaceful, and independent life. If you're ready to take charge of this stage of life and make the most of it, let's get started. And hey, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe for more helpful videos and let me know in the comments if this topic resonates with you. Now, let's dive in. 1. Avoid complete isolation. One of the most dangerous mistakes that older adults make when living alone is falling into complete isolation. It doesn't happen overnight. At first, you enjoy the peace and quiet, the ability to do things on your own terms. But then the days start blurring together. Weeks pass without meaningful interactions, and suddenly, the silence that once felt peaceful becomes overwhelming. I read countless stories of older adults who slowly drifted away from family and friends, not because they wanted to, but because life just happened that way. And before they knew it, they were completely disconnected from the world, from their social circles, and even from themselves. Let me share a story that truly touched my heart. An older woman named Margaret, who lived alone after her husband passed away, found herself sinking into isolation. At first, she enjoyed the solitude, spending her days watching TV and reading. But soon, loneliness crept in. She didn't realize how much it was affecting her until she caught herself talking to walls, just to hear a voice in the house. But everything changed when she made one small decision. She joined a local book club. At first, she hesitated. What if she didn't fit in? What if it was too late to make new friends? But the moment she stepped into that first meeting, she was greeted with warm smiles and friendly conversations. That one simple step brought color back into her life. The lesson here? Don't wait until loneliness consumes you. Make regular phone calls to family or friends. Even just once a week can make a huge difference. Join a group, whether it's a hobby club, a religious gathering, or an online community. Consider volunteering. It's not just about giving back. It's about staying connected to life. Isolation is a slow thief. It steals your joy before you even realize it. Fight against it, even in small ways. 2. Avoid neglecting your health. When you live alone, there's no one to remind you to take your medications, schedule doctor's appointments, or even go outside for fresh air. And this is where many older adults slip into health neglect, sometimes without even realizing it. It starts small. You skip a doctor's visit because it feels like a hassle. You put off refilling a prescription because you'll do it tomorrow. You tell yourself you'll take a walk next week. But next week turns into months. And by the time you realize it, small health issues have snowballed into serious conditions. There was a man named Robert, a retired teacher, who shared his regret about neglecting his health while living alone. He used to be active, but after retiring, he became less and less motivated. He stopped going for his daily walks, stopped cooking proper meals, stopped caring for his body. Then one day, he woke up feeling weak, dizzy, and disoriented. After finally seeing a doctor, he learned he had severe vitamin deficiencies and heart issues, things that could have been prevented if he had just stayed on top of his health. So, how can you avoid this? Set reminders for doctor's appointments and medication schedules. Your phone, a calendar, or even a simple sticky note on your fridge can help. Stay active, even in small ways. A daily walk, gentle stretching, or even gardening can keep your body moving. Eat well. When you live alone, it's tempting to rely on quick, processed foods. But cooking simple, nutritious meals can boost both your physical and mental health. Your health is your greatest asset. Don't wait until it declines. Protect it now. 3. Avoid ignoring safety concerns. Many older adults believe they are still as strong and capable as they were years ago, and while that confidence is great, it can sometimes lead to dangerous overconfidence. The reality is, as we age, our reflexes slow down, and our bodies become more vulnerable to injuries. One slip, One fall, one bad decision, and things can take a turn for the worse. I came across a heartbreaking story of an elderly woman named Linda who lived alone and had a minor fall in her kitchen. At first, she thought she was fine. She didn't call anyone for help. But hours later, when she tried to stand up, she realized her leg wasn't responding. She had fractured her hip, and because she had no way to reach her phone, she spent the entire night lying on the cold floor. It was only when her daughter visited the next morning that she was found and taken to the hospital. This could have been prevented with a few simple safety measures. Install grab bars in the bathroom and hallways. These small additions can prevent major accidents. Make sure your home is well lit. Dimly lit hallways or staircases can be an accident waiting to happen. Consider a medical alert system. If you fall or feel unwell, having a device that calls for help with the press of a button could save your life. Living alone doesn't mean living recklessly. Your safety should be a top priority. 4. Avoid developing unhealthy habits. Living alone gives you the freedom to set your own routines, but that freedom can sometimes lead to unhealthy habits creeping in. Without someone around to keep you accountable, it's easy to slip into patterns that harm your body and mind without even realizing it. At first, it's harmless. You skip a meal here and there because cooking feels like too much effort. You start snacking more often, replacing proper meals with quick, processed foods. You sit on the couch for longer periods, telling yourself, I'll go for a walk tomorrow, but tomorrow turns into weeks. Your energy levels drop, your mood dips, and before you know it, these small choices have snowballed into serious health issues. I remember reading about an elderly man named James, who had always been active and social. But after his wife passed away, he started staying indoors more, watching TV for hours, and eating only microwavable meals. At first, he didn't notice the effects, but over time he gained weight, felt weaker, and lost the motivation to even leave the house. It wasn't until a routine doctor's visit that he realized his cholesterol had skyrocketed, his muscles were weakening, and he was at risk for diabetes. The key lesson? Your daily habits shape your future. Plan simple, healthy meals. Even something as basic as grilled chicken, steamed vegetables, and a piece of fruit can keep you strong and energized. Set movement goals. A 10-minute walk every morning, stretching before bed, or even light gardening can keep your body in motion. Limit mindless snacking and screen time. Find a hobby that keeps you engaged, reading, puzzles, or even learning something new online. Living alone doesn't mean letting go of self-care. Your health deserves the same attention and love you'd give to a dear friend. 5. Avoid letting your home become a burden. Your home should be a place of comfort and peace, not a constant source of stress. But for many older adults, managing household chores, repairs, and clutter can become overwhelming, leading to exhaustion and frustration. I recently read a story of an elderly woman named Susan who lived in the same home for over 40 years. It was filled with memories, keepsakes, and belongings collected over decades. But as time passed, cleaning became harder, maintaining the home became expensive, and clutter piled up. Instead of feeling at peace, she felt trapped, drowning in responsibilities. After much hesitation, Susan decided to downsize to a smaller home. And to her surprise, it was the best decision she had ever made. She no longer had to worry about constant upkeep, expensive maintenance, or clutter. Instead, she was free to enjoy life with less stress and more ease. If managing your home has started feeling like a burden, consider these steps. Declutter gradually. Keep only the things that truly bring you joy or serve a purpose. Ask for help. Family, friends, or even professional organizers can assist in making your home simpler and easier to manage. Consider downsizing. If maintaining a large home is too much, moving to a smaller, more manageable space might bring unexpected relief. A home should be a place of rest and security. Don't let it become something that drains your energy. 6. Avoid losing your sense of purpose. One of the biggest, yet most silent struggles of living alone is losing your sense of purpose. When daily routines become repetitive and there's no one around to share conversations with, life can start to feel directionless. Many older adults, after retiring or losing a spouse, describe waking up in the morning and thinking, what now? The absence of a clear purpose can lead to feelings of loneliness, sadness, and even depression. I once read about an older man named Harold. He had spent his life working, raising a family, and staying busy. But after retiring, he felt lost. His days felt meaningless, and time seemed to blur together. At first, he filled his hours with TV, but that only made him feel worse. Everything changed when Harold decided to volunteer at a local school. He started mentoring young students, sharing stories, and offering life advice. What he thought would be a small commitment transformed his entire life. He felt valued again, excited to wake up, and most importantly, connected to the world around him. Here's how you can avoid falling into the trap of purposelessness. Reconnect with old hobbies. Whether it's painting, gardening, or music, doing something creative keeps your mind engaged. Join community activities. Even small things like attending a book club or religious gathering help bring meaning back into your days. Consider mentoring or volunteering. Helping others is one of the most fulfilling things you can do, and it gives you a reason to wake up every day. Remember, life doesn't stop after a certain age. There is still so much to learn, to give, and to experience. You just have to take the first step. 7. Avoid feeling like you have to do everything alone. Many older adults make the mistake of believing that asking for help means losing independence. This mindset can lead to unnecessary stress, exhaustion, and even health issues. I recently came across a story about an elderly woman named Linda who struggled with daily chores but refused to ask for help. She felt guilty relying on others and didn't want to burden her family. But one day, after nearly falling while carrying groceries up the stairs, she realized she couldn't do everything alone anymore. When she finally asked her daughter for help, something surprising happened. Her daughter was happy to assist. In fact, her family had been waiting for her to reach out. Instead of seeing her as a burden, they were relieved that she trusted them enough to ask. Here's the truth. Asking for help doesn't make you weak. It makes you wise. Lean on family and friends. Whether it's rides to appointments or help around the house, most loved ones want to support you. Use home assistance services if needed. There are countless organizations designed to help seniors maintain independence without stress. Create a small, trusted support network. A neighbor, a church friend, or even a friendly grocery store worker. Having people you can count on makes life easier. You are not alone. There are people who care, and the sooner you allow them in, the lighter life will feel. 8. Avoid financial disorganization. One of the most overlooked dangers of living alone is financial mismanagement. Without someone reminding you to check bills or review bank statements, it's easy for small mistakes to pile up. Take the case of Eleanor, a retired nurse who thought she had her finances under control. But after months of ignoring bank statements, she realized she had been paying for multiple subscriptions she didn't even use. Worse, she had unknowingly missed a few payments, leading to late fees and unnecessary stress. Eleanor's story is not uncommon. Many older adults face financial struggles, not because they lack money, but because they lack organization. Here's how you can stay financially secure while living alone. Set up automatic bill payments so you never miss a deadline. Review your bank statements monthly to catch unnecessary charges. Create a simple budget to track expenses and make sure your savings last. Ask a trusted family member to help. Having a second set of eyes can prevent costly mistakes. Financial stress can be avoided with just a few simple steps. Don't wait until a small mistake becomes a big problem. Stay on top of your finances now. 9. Avoid neglecting your home environment. Your home should be a place of peace and comfort, but when you live alone, it's easy to let things slide. Clutter builds up, small repairs are left undone, and before you know it, your once cozy home starts to feel overwhelming. I read about an elderly woman, Martha, who lived alone after her husband passed away. She never thought much about her home's condition until a close friend visited and pointed out how much clutter had piled up. Stacks of old newspapers and used furniture and disorganized rooms made moving around difficult. Worse, she realized that her cluttered home was affecting her mood. She felt sluggish, unmotivated, and weighed down without even realizing why. After finally taking steps to declutter and organize, Martha noticed an immediate change. Her space felt lighter, her mind felt clearer, and she finally felt at peace in her own home. If your home feels more like a burden than a sanctuary, consider these small but powerful changes. Declutter one small area at a time. Don't try to do everything in one day. Keep essential items within easy reach to avoid unnecessary strain. Ensure your home is well lit too. A clean, organized home isn't just about aesthetics. It directly affects your mental well-being. Take the time to create a space that nurtures you rather than drains you. 10. Avoid losing track of time. One of the unexpected challenges of living alone is how quickly time can slip away. When you don't have set routines or responsibilities, the days start blending together. I came across a story of a retired man, George, who noticed that he was losing track of time. Without a job or a structured daily schedule, he sometimes forgot what day of the week it was. At first, it seemed harmless, but over time, he started feeling disconnected from life. Everything changed when he decided to create a daily routine. He set specific times for meals, morning walks, and hobbies. He designated certain days for grocery shopping, doctor visits, and social activities. He started keeping a simple calendar to help him stay organized. These small adjustments transformed his sense of purpose and structure. Having a routine anchors your day and keeps your mind sharp, preventing that drifting, aimless feeling. If you find yourself losing track of time, try keeping a planner or calendar, setting alarms for important tasks and activities, scheduling social interactions to ensure you stay engaged. Time is precious. Make sure you're using it in a way that brings you fulfillment. 11. Avoid skipping emergency preparedness. When you live alone, one of the biggest mistakes you can make is failing to prepare for emergencies. Whether it's a power outage, a medical crisis, or a natural disaster, having a plan can be the difference between safety and disaster. I read about an elderly man, Thomas, who got caught in a severe winter storm. His power went out for days, and he had no backup plan. He hadn't charged his phone, didn't have extra blankets, and ran out of food. The experience was terrifying, and after it was over, he vowed to never be unprepared again. Here's how you can stay safe and prepare for emergencies. Keep an emergency kit with essentials like bottled water, canned food, flashlights, and a battery-powered radio. Always keep your phone charged and invest in a backup power bank. Have a list of emergency contacts easily accessible. Consider a medical alert system in case of accidents or health emergencies. Don't wait until it's too late. Preparation brings peace of mind and could save your life. 12. Avoid holding on to too many things out of sentimentality. It's natural to cherish items that hold special memories, but when you live alone, holding on to too many possessions can become a burden rather than a comfort. I remember reading about an elderly woman, Evelyn, who struggled to let go of her late husband's belongings. She kept his clothes, books, tools, and even small things like old papers. Over time, these items took over her space, making it feel more like a storage unit than a home. One day, with the help of her daughter, Evelyn started going through everything. Instead of keeping everything, she chose a few truly meaningful items and let go of the rest. She donated clothes to charity, passed down family heirlooms, and even digitized old photos to keep the memories alive without taking up space. If you find yourself struggling with clutter from the past, ask yourself, does this item bring me joy, or is it just taking up space? Can I pass this on to a loved one who will appreciate it? Would photograph or digital memories serve the same purpose? Letting go isn't about forgetting the past. It's about making room for new experiences. Your home should reflect who you are now, not just who you were before. Final thoughts. Living alone doesn't mean living in struggle. Living alone as an older adult can be a deeply fulfilling experience, but only if you take the right steps to protect your health, safety, and happiness. We've covered 12 common mistakes that can make life harder, from isolation and unhealthy habits to safety risks and financial struggles. But the good news is that every single one of these mistakes is fixable. Take small steps. White heavy checkmark stay connected to loved ones. White heavy checkmark prioritize your health and safety. White heavy checkmark keep your home comfortable and manageable. White heavy checkmark plan ahead for emergencies and financial security. Most importantly, remember that you are not alone. There are people who care, resources to help, and opportunities to keep growing and thriving. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these mistakes do you think is the most important to avoid? Comment below and let's start conversation. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more advice on making your golden years the best they can be. Thank you for watching and stay safe.